Hello wonderful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be teaching you how to make this nice and beautiful alternate dress. So let's just get started. Bust 35, waist 28, half length 14 and a half, hips 40, and length of dress is 42. So guys, this is the fabrics we are going to be using, and it's a chiffon fabric. It's a vintage chiffon fabrics and it is not stretchy. Yes, so let's just get into the video. So the first thing I worked on is the front bodice, and I removed about 4 inches because it's an off shoulder. So I removed about 4 inches and I went down by 1 inches, and that would be the allowance through which the rope of the halter neck will sit in. So I just marked the 1 inches all through, which makes it about 5 inches. Yeah, so after doing that, the next thing I did is to get my armhole. My original armhole is 7 inches plus 1 inches for the halter neck, so that makes it about 8 inches, and I just marked that out. After doing that, the next thing I did is to measure the bust. My bust divided by 4 is about 9 inches plus 4 inches for the fullness at the bust region, which makes it about 12 inches. Then the next thing I did after that is to measure about 10 inches for the fullness at the neck, because the rope is going to be connecting the fullness at the neck, and I connected that back into the armhole, and I just slitted it out so that when I want to fold it, it will budge in inside. So the next thing I did after that is to get my half length for the upper front bodice. My half length is 14 and a half, then plus half inches seam allowance to join the lower bodice to the upper one, so that makes about 15 inches. So I marked the 15 inches all round. Then bear in mind that the waist also had some sort of fullness in the center, so I just used the same measurement for my bust and my waist. Then after connecting the same thing, the next thing I did is to just cut it out. For the lower part of the front bodice, my waist divided by 4 is 7. I added 1.5 inches allowance. Then I went in by 8 inches, that is the depth, to mark my hips region. My hips is 40 divided by 4 is 10. So I marked 10, and I also added 1.5 inches for the seam allowance. After doing that, I connected the hips back to the waistline. After then, I went about to get the full length of the dress. I pegged it with about 2 inches. I connected it back into the hips region, and the next thing I did is just to cut it out. So after cutting it out, I placed the front on a folded part also for the back. But bear in mind that the back has some sort of difference from the front. I marked about 1 inches up so that I can fold that in for the elastic to be able to pass in. Then after doing that, I also ensure that I added about 4 inches for the side of the back waist, because an elastic is going to pass through. So after doing that, I just connected the back waistline into the hips. Then that is the only alteration at the back, and we just cut it out. Last thing I cut out is the rope for the halter neck. I folded about 50 inches into 4, then I measured 1.5 inches. Then after measuring 1.5 inches, I connected it all the way through and I cut it out. So for the halter neck, we have just one single rope. So I'll be cutting out 4 ropes. I'll be using 2 for the halter neck in order for it to be very long. Then I'll be having 1 for each side. So that is the reason why I cut out 4 ropes. So after cutting out the ropes, the next thing we do is to get to the sewing machine and start sewing. The first thing I did on the sewing machine is to tape in the rack for the rope of the halter neck, that is at the neck. Then I just taped that in by about half inches. So the next thing I did is to stitch down the rope for the front. I did that by joining two ropes together so that it could be very long. And after doing that, I folded it inward by 1 cm and 1 cm by the other side, just like it's appearing at the camera. So I just did well to hold it down firmly, and I ran a straight stitch on it all the way through. So I did that also for the two ropes for the side. I ran a straight stitch on them and I stitched everything down. So the next thing I did is to pass in the rope into the neckline for the front. I just passed that through. I just passed that in through. So after passing it through, I ensured that the neckline is balanced. I pulled out the rope properly. Then I used about 7 inches for the neckline. Then the next thing I did is to hold down the rope firmly to the armhole. I did that by just running a straight stitch on it. So after then, I did well also to stitch the rope for the side. I connected it lower the armhole region. Then I just went ahead to fold in the side and even into the armhole. I just taped everything inside since there is no joining by the side. So that is the reason why I just joined everything. I also went ahead to do the same thing for the other side. So after doing that, the next thing I did, I placed the upper front bodies on the lower front bodies. I made a lunge in the middle so as to be sure of where the pleat will be. So after that, I ran a straight stitch, and when I got to where the lunge met each other, I went ahead to pleat the excess of the upper front bodies on the lower front bodies. So this is what we have. You can see that it's looking so good. I've connected the rope. So guys, for the back, the first thing I did is that I tape in the 1 inches allowance we left for the elastic. So I tape that in, and after doing that, I put the elastic inward. Then after doing that, I pull out the elastic and make sure that it's firm enough for my waist region. Then I just secured it down using a straight stitch, and I cut out the elastic. A quick reminder guys, please, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do well to do that to help me grow. Yes, please, I need your subscription. It's a new channel, and trust me, I'll be giving you lots of good tutorial. So the next thing we are going to do is to join the lower back bodies to the lower front bodies. Remember that the back does not have an upper bodies. For the side, I did not join it all the way through to the hem. I left about 12 inches open from the hem, and that is to enable me to work better. Remember that is a pegged dress and there is no slit at the back, so the side slit will enable me to work better. So I opened up the slit and I just stitch it down to ensure that it's neat, and this is what we have. You can see that it's looking good. I did the same thing for the other side too, and we got the same result. So the last thing I'm going to do is just to stitch down the hem. I folded half inches into two, and I just ran a straight stitch. So guys, glory to God, we are done with the tutorial. This is what we have. You can see this is the front and this is the back, and the elastic at the back is going to enable one to be able to wear the dress because it does not have a zip, remember that, and the fabrics is not stretchy. So the elastic at the back will enable one to be able to wear the dress, and is one of the things to be considered when making a dress. So guys, we have come to the end of the tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. You can see that the dress is looking so beautiful. Please do well to subscribe, like, comment, and let me know if you have any question in the comment section, and I'll do well to answer all questions. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Until then guys, bye. Thank you.